We'll be opening to answering some questions. Our time is a bit stretched, as you can appreciate, I am sure, so we'll probably do one question and one follow-up, please. And I just wanted to let you know we are going to be recording this session, so I just wanted you to be aware. So, Deputy Warden, if you want to give them a slight, a background of what's going on, that'd be great.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone, for attending again today. I think it's been a lot better organized, the fact that we're going to be doing these every day. I know it makes life easier for us. So since our last update yesterday, we've had some large changes with the situation out in Dalhousie. It again doubled in size. So we're at, we're above 1,000 hectares. And the situation is evolving as we speak. But that's more should be directed towards Department of Natural Resources. Since yesterday, we've had to do another evacuation notice, but this is an evacuation expansion. So it's we want to express that this is no additional homes or residents are being evacuated. This is only to support the ongoing situation with the fire. There's no homes or structures involved in that evacuation, and we're not aware of any houses that have been lost or structures that have been lost to this point. I'm sure we'll get more updates as we go through. We have our community shelter again open. It's going to stay open until this is done at the Middleton NSCC. And I also want to take this time to kind of nip a rumor in the bud that the shelter and anything related to the shelter is free of charge. There is no charge for individuals to stay. I know that there's currently a rumor on social media and in the public that that there's a charge to stay there. That is not. There might be some confusion with something else. There is no charge. The whole point of everything that is being put in place to support is so that there's no financial burden to the people that were evacuated. Those members are already dealing with a lot on their plate and are already stressed as it is. So there's no point in putting financial pressures on these individuals. There's no charge. We are still receiving phone calls daily to our 1-833-806-1515 number, asking about their pets and different updates and where they can get resources, and that will continue to command. We have also been in discussion and have activated the Bridgetown Salvation Army, and their responsibility in this is for collecting and organizing donations for evacuees, as well as providing emotional support services, which, as we go through this is going to continue. I know this is something that I heard yesterday when myself and the warden toured the site, that, at this point it would show that there is emotional support services for the members of the first responders, but it wasn't clear for the evacuees and the volunteers. So that is what the Salvation Army will be looking after. And there'll be more information to come on that. That is all that I really have at this point.
Thank you. I was going to open it up for questions. If you have a question. Oh, perfect. CBC Halifax, please go ahead.
Yeah, I wondered what you could tell us about how people that are at the NSCC shelter site are doing. What are you hearing from them at this point?
So as of right now, we haven't had any reports of the site being used for overnight accommodations. People are still continuing to stay within the surrounding communities at their family or friends. But we're expecting, as time progresses, that we're going to start to see people there during the evening, and hopefully with getting more information out and the barriers of thinking of cost, will allow that to come up. But the people that have been around are using that facility, and just the general feeling in the community is still very positive. Of course, people are scared and people are nervous and anxious, and I believe everyone is. But as time goes on, we're going to continue to provide as much support and provide whatever we can to people that are affected.
And so, just to be clear, what exactly is available then at the NSCC? Is it like a dorm room situation for people who need it?
So as of right now, it is more of a emergency shelter situation. So it's not a dormitory. It is a cot-based situation, but it's more than just for sheltering. So this is an area that members or that evacuees can go to get meals, snacks, showers, just to get different community information, as well as some supplies, water, even paper towel. We heard a story today that all they needed was paper towel, and they were able to get that at that site.
Okay, and just one more. The meals, how many people are coming for the meals or for food? Is it pretty busy there?
So as of right now, I don't have that information. Hopefully we'll have that later on today once we have another update meeting with the Red Cross.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I did forget to ask, if you could please just introduce yourself and the agency you're with before your question, that would be very helpful. Next we have Sheldon McLeod, please.
Hi there, Sheldon from Maritime Broadcasting Network. Wanted to ask what supports are in place for the dozens and dozens of volunteer firefighters that have been on the scene for the last several days, and it looks like there's going to be more need for their work over the next days in the future.
Thank you. So as of right now, the Department of Natural Resources is looking after the members who they have there and they brought in. So they're the ones that are looking after the accommodations for firefighters. I'm not sure exactly how big that scope is. All I can say is the firefighters and first responders that are on the front lines are being supported by the local West Dalhousie community group, and they have been phenomenal. They've been cooking the meals, providing resources, providing food, water, drinks, and even just someone to talk to. So they've been a phenomenal group. And outside of that, there's been supports of donations to the local fire departments of water, and even today, there was a success story where the residents of the municipality of Shelburne and Barrington made a delivery to the local fire departments that are supporting with water, Gatorade, socks, a whole bunch of supplies, hand cream, trying to give back from their lessons learned. So anything that their firefighters needed when they were going through their disaster, they're providing support for us. And we're more than willing to accept that. And we'll continue to work with everyone to make sure everyone is supported.
Thank you. Do you have a follow-up with that? Oh, sorry. Do you have a follow-up, Sheldon?
I do, thank you. The province was, or the Department of Natural Resources had mentioned that they don't know of any ask yet. Is there any need for volunteers from outside of Annapolis region?
In what regard?
Has there been a call put out to other volunteer fire departments in any other jurisdictions in Nova Scotia?
Yeah, so that's more of a Department of Natural Resources question.
They actually said it wasn't, but sorry.
Oh, okay. So, but what I can say is, last information that we have is that we have on site right now 55 DNR. We have 5 DNR firefighters from PEI. We have 39 local firefighters, as well as the Department of Natural Resource crew that was in New Brunswick. 20 members are now on the ground to support, and they're expecting 20 from Ontario. I do know that there is well over 10 fire departments throughout Nova Scotia that are supporting Department of Natural Resources, including HRM. They were able to come up and support with some of the protective management equipment or structures. But I know that every single fire department within the municipality of Annapolis is involved in some way, and whether it is delivering water to the pumping stations to do protection, or even providing any other type of support. So it's hard right now to really put a number on it, because there's also departments throughout Nova Scotia that is stepping up to fill the void within the community's local fire departments that are actively supporting the fire.
Thank you, Sheldon. Mike Mitchell?
Mike Mitchell from AVR. And my question, Dustin, is what criteria was met or not met to allow the final day of the exhibition to move forward yesterday?
So, to be honest, that's the first time we've been asked about that. So, because it is not close to the area, that's all I can really say. So there was no, from my understanding, there was no discussion and there was no risk to that. There was nothing for us to be worried about with that situation. However, if something would have escalated, whether it would be resources or material, we would have definitely had that conversation with that organization, but that it didn't get to that point. And now that the exhibition's over, I'm sure we'll have continued working with the different organizations that support that will probably then move to support this current situation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have a follow-up, Mike?
I don't know.
Wonderful. Okay, Larry? You're muted, Larry. There you go.
Yep, okay, Nadine, Larry Powell, I'm with Post Media. I've been to the command center a couple of times, Dustin. It's a beehive of activity. What was your feeling when you were at the command center a couple of times a day and you saw those plumes of smoke seemingly a few football fields away? How did you feel?
So me personally, I felt that I was definitely aware that it was a very strong situation. To be honest, I've been so busy that I didn't have any personal fear. I just knew that the situation was urgent need. But every time I went out there, any of my fear that I had while I was driving up to the site was set aside with the amount of professionals that were on site from the Department of Natural Resources that had this well-oiled machine to fight this fire, as well as the fact that we had the community volunteers there that were supporting to make that happen. Because without either one of them, it wouldn't have been a continued success like it is. So I did feel the sense of safeness, but also the sense of pride in my community, and it shows that we're in the right part of the country that will continue to provide community support when it's needed.
Can I follow up on that, Nadine?
Absolutely, yes.
So you saw the sprinkler systems that they have set up around the command center?
Yes.
And the same type of sprinkler system set up on the roofs of houses, and the tanker trucks bringing water up the mountain, putting it in big tubs. Was that something that you ever expected would be done down to that much detail in trying to save people's properties?
No, to be honest. I know both the warden and I attempt to visit the site twice a day, but sometimes based on what we're doing, it's once a day. But yesterday we had a very detailed tour of the front line and what the first responders are doing. And I personally never expected to see the amount of preventative measures that is being put in place to save structures, as well as any important areas. We even seen areas that had what they called a water break, where they were making certain areas extremely wet, so it would act as a fire break. So it was above what I even thought, and it put me it relieved some of my fears about loss of structure. Of course, we can never be 100% guaranteed, but just that extra level that Department of Natural Resources and EMO is taking is very comforting. And my understanding is one of the first times it's actually been used. So there's going to be a lot of lessons learned. So hopefully out of this tragedy, we're going to see continued improvements in what we can do moving forward.
Thank you, Larry. Anything else? And does anyone else have any questions?
Well, if no one else has a question, I'd just like to go back to the evacuee situation.
Sure. This is Sheldon McLeod.
Oh, this Larry. I thought you.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. I saw Sheldon's hand up. Sorry, Larry. Go ahead, and then Sheldon, you can go next. Sorry.
Just wondering if Dustin knows of any particular cases of where evacuees have ended up. I mean, I've heard, friends and family and that sort of thing. Is there anything more specific than that? I heard one woman had 23 goats she had to somehow or other look after.
So
3 goats is a lot of goats.
So I don't want to speak to any individual case because of the sensitivity of it, especially when we live in a smaller community where everyone knows everybody. So I really don't want to speak to individual cases in detail. But from my understanding that people are staying at friends and family. We have some people that are camping. And from the animal perspective, we've seen a huge amount of community volunteers stepping up to take animals. So we have various small farms that an organization or just residential people that are taking up to house these and feed these animals while we go through this disaster.
I'll go ahead then. Thank you, Deputy Warden Ensla. There are 15 fires burning in Nova Scotia right now. The only one that is out of control is in your community. The air assets that are here from the Yukon Northwest Territories, it's very explicit that they are there to support ground crews. They're not there necessarily to extinguish massive wildfires. The province had, unfortunately, the loss of one of the provincial helicopters on Friday. Thankfully, the pilot is apparently okay. My question to you, sir, is with this discussion about air assets, do you feel, is there a case to be made that Nova Scotia needs fixed wing assets available to us in our own province?
That's a very good question. As for this current situation, I feel that Department of Natural Resources have the best of intentions and have been putting the best equipment that they have available and what they feel is best. In regards to future endeavors, we can always look at what we need in the future, and would I be supported to see additional fixed wing aircraft within the Maritimes, within Nova Scotia, to support these disasters 100%. And I believe, most residents would be. And we have heard that. But that is out of the control of the municipality. That is a DNR and Province Nova Scotia initiative. But if they were to decide to move forward with that, then I personally would be supportive. But it is nothing, it's not related to the municipality of Annapolis.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions? Wonderful. I realized I should practice what I preach. Oh, no, we do have one. CBC Halifax, go ahead.
Hi, yeah, Andrew Sampson at CBC. I'm just curious, I believe the first evacuations occurred either Wednesday or Thursday. We're almost to the point where it's a week now since people have been asked to leave their homes. Well, what are you telling people who, might want to get back in there? And is there any plans for any sort of, more private shelter if this continues? I imagine a lot of people have been on a couch or that sort of thing for a while at this point. Thanks.
Perfect. That's a good question. So before I answer that question in good detail, I do want to take this time to stress the importance, and the media has been extremely good at this, that it's imperative that everyone that has been evacuated, that they need to contact either our 1-800-1833 number, so it's 1-833-806-1515, to register, to make sure that we know that you have actually 100% been evacuated. I just want to throw that out there again. We've been really trying to throw that out there because we still have people that have not registered. We know that there is no one on the ground.
I'm so sorry.
Because we've had search and rescue. The last report I had knocked on every single door after the evacuation order was given. However, we haven't had 100% of the evacuees checking in. And also the easiest way to register, is to register online through the Red Cross or at the location in Middleton, the NSCC. The 1-800 number will direct them to that and other support. But to answer your question around sheltering and support as we go along, so we're all